Everyone in Willow Creek ignored Mrs. Eleanor Hayes. She lived alone at the end of Maple Road, in a weather-beaten house with a white porch and a crooked mailbox. To most people, she was just another lonely old woman. Kids whispered when she passed by. Neighbors crossed the street. No one ever stopped to ask if she was okay. Every morning, Mrs. Hayes wore the same gray coat. Every Friday, she bought the same groceries. She never smiled. She never complained. She simply nodded and walked back home. Then one winter night, everything changed. The power went out across Willow Creek. Streetlights died. Homes went dark. And at exactly 2:17 a.m., the sheriff's phone rang. A neighbor reported a strange light coming from Mrs. Hayes's basement. Deputies arrived minutes later. They knocked on the door. No answer. The door was unlocked. Inside, the house was freezing cold. Dust covered the furniture. And Mrs. Eleanor Hayes was nowhere to be found. That's when they noticed the smell. It wasn't gas. It wasn't rot. It was metallic and sharp. The sheriff slowly walked to the basement door. He hesitated. Then he opened it. What they found below wasn't a basement. It was a hidden underground room. The walls were covered with maps. Old newspaper clippings were pinned everywhere. Names were circled in red ink. Dates stretched back more than 30 years. Every name belonged to someone who had disappeared in Willow Creek. Cold cases. Unsolved cases. Cases everyone had forgotten. In the center of the room was a single chair. Handcuffs were bolted to the floor. And taped to the wall was a note. It read, "I watched you ignore them. I watched you forget. So I remembered everything." That's when the truth became clear. Mrs. Eleanor Hayes was not a killer. She was a witness. A survivor. She had reported the disappearances. She had warned the town. She had begged people to listen. But no one ever did. By sunrise, Mrs. Eleanor Hayes had vanished. There were no tracks in the snow. No fingerprints. No leads. But that same morning, every missing persons case in Willow Creek was reopened. Some say justice finally came to the town. Others believe something else. That Mrs. Eleanor Hayes is still out there. Still watching. Still remembering.